Interview with Mrs. Boulter on Monday, 26th of June, 1989 at 33 Kilcoed, Coednow, Bangor.
I think all the houses belong to the club, you see. Now I don't know whether we paid anything or not, I can't remember. But these were the football houses and they were lovely, you know, beautiful. And George didn't live near us. I don't know where he lived, but I forget what I'm talking about now.
Just talking about his little boy.
So of course we heard about George's little boy. Very sad it was. I think they all went to the funeral and things like that, you know. But it's a long time ago, isn't it?
Well, it's around 1936 or something.
Well,
But
something like
George, when he was showing me the clippings, he was selected to play for Wales the same week to make his debut. For what it was his debut, maybe his second cap. And so he had the funeral on the Tuesday, but he played for Wales on the Saturday. Took his wife down to Cardiff with him, and she spent a couple of weeks there.
Now see, my husband played for Wales, but he never had his cap.
Why was that?
Where's my... You read it on there when he died.
So he never got
Well,
a
it
cap.
is, I know.
Oh, should we go back to the very beginning.
Begin the what?
When
he started.
Well, when you first met Les, where did...
When I first met my husband, of course he was from the same place as me, but I never knew him.
Where was that?
Ebervale in South Wales. Now I was about 16 and a half, I think. And there was a fair in Ebervale. You know, these Noah's Ark things, you know, animals. Well, Les was on this Noah's Ark about 8 times. Nice looking fella, you know, dark hair. So there was a friend of his, a fella called Johnny Cross, you see, and I knew Johnny Cross. I said to Johnny, who's that? I said, there's Boulter, he said, professional footballer. So I said, yeah, he said to me, earns £6 a week then was an awful lot of money. I said, what? No. Anyway, I was working in Woolworths at the time. The next day, he came into Woolworths to buy a record. Wanted to take me home. So I said, no, I'm going home with someone. I said, I'm pissed. And that's how the romance started. And I got married when I was 17 and a half.
Very young.
I had my daughter when I was 19.
How old was Les when you got married?
20.
So he was young as well?
Yes, of course. Too young, much too young. It is. Stupid. It is. Of course, when my daughter was small, then I wanted to go out, didn't I? And I couldn't.
If you were that young, and
of course it was.
I suppose you lost a few years because you had to look after
That's
a child.
right, that's right.
So who was Les playing for at the time?
Charlton.
He was with Charlton,
Yes,
and you met
when
him.
I got married.
And you met him, but you met him in Wales.
Went to Wales when he came for the summer holidays, you see.
I see.
'Cause he used to have about a couple of months, didn't they, in the summer. So then he had to go back, and you know, and he didn't want to go back. His mother kept pestering. My fault, she said. How was it my fault? Anyway, he said he wasn't going to go back. He was going to go down back to the mines. Because his mother went spare, didn't she? So she pushed us, sort of thing, you know, to get married. Because I didn't have a father. My father died when I was 4, you see. So my mother didn't know what to do. Of course, she had to sign for us, didn't she, to get married. But because he had such a good job, she didn't mind so much, you know.
Yeah, the money coming in.
That's right, that's right. So the next day, or 2 days after, we didn't have any honeymoon. Went back up to London.
Was that the first time you've been to London?
Oh yes, never been. Oh no, I went when he was playing football.
Oh, you went out when he...
Yes.
What did you think of it when you...
I don't think I went to the football match. I don't think I did. I was there about a week, I think. I stopped in the digs where Harold Hobbs was with my husband in digs. And do you know, isn't it funny how it comes back to you, doesn't it? And after a week I came back, you see.
Yeah. Did you meet many of the players and girlfriends? Or
No, I don't think I did. Les was very, very reserved, you know, very... he didn't like me mixing with anybody. Didn't like me dancing, nothing. Honest. Very jealous he was. I don't know what for. Got to see me now. Anyway, as I said, I don't understand football much. I think if I went down 3 times, that was about my limit. It was. Because my son plays rugby, obviously. He's a bank manager. A senior bank manager, he tells me. He's a little bit, you know, cocky, I say.
Yeah.
Don't you record
No, it's all right. Well, that won't go in, don't worry.
Because I said, what are you now, Graham? Because his name is Graham with an E, you see, like Graham.
Yeah.
So when Graham was done with centre, he said, my name's Graham. I said, not like my Graham, with an E. Yes, it is, he said. So I said to Graham the other day, what are you now then, Graham? I'm a senior bank manager, he said. Very nice. He pays £100 a week tax. So I said, well, Graham must be earning it to pay it, isn't he?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Anyway, back to your...
Yes, back to my...
What were your impressions from that first week in London? Did you like it?
I didn't really. No, I didn't. Too many people and everything. Confused me. After coming from the valleys, didn't it? It was nice to be popular, sort of thing, you know? A bit of press off.
Yeah.
And all the children having to get his autograph, you know. I think he missed that in the end, you know.
Were you surprised that there was this kind of
I was.
reaction
I
to
was.
this boy that you'd met at the fair game?
Of course I was, yes, I was. I thought it was like some royalty or something. It was terrific. Marvellous. But then you live day to day after, don't you? And then no sex on a Friday night, you know. And every Friday night my daughter used to scream the place down in bed when he had to get his sleep, you see. And every other week he went away playing football, every other week. What else can I say?
What about you got married in South Wales?
Yes, I did.
So was that during the summer?
It was February the 6th, 1934.
And because at that time Charlton was still in the third division.
Third then.
Third division.
Because they went from the third to the first when I was married. So gold, have you seen the gold medal with anybody?
No, I haven't.
Now I've given it to my grandson, you see, because he's the only one with the name of Boulter, you see. And he's got the schoolboy cap.
That's something to treasure.
That's right.
Always keep those.
No, do you think it's real gold, or do you think it is? It's
so.
thick, you know, it's thick.
I should think it is gold.
It
I
is.
should think so.
It looks to me like 22 carat.
Well, that's when Charlton did that in the 30s. It was never copied. I mean, that record was going all the way up.
No.
Until Queen's Park Rangers did it in the 1960s. So for 30 years, that record held.
Did it?
And I think it's been bettered since because there's been teams that have gone from the fourth to the first. And that era, when we had the big teams who was very much still entrenched at the top, and
That's
Charlton
right.
to go steaming up through and to finish runners up in the first division.
Of course, if I was a football fan, it would have been more exciting, wasn't it? But I wasn't, you see. Well, you don't in those days when you were young, do you, really?
No, you don't, that's right. So did Charlton give him any time off to go and get married? Or did he just have to fit it in?
Well, it was on a weekend, that's all. On a Monday it was. Then we had to go back on the Tuesday, look.
So did he shoot back down to Wales on the Sunday?
Eh?
Was he playing on the Saturday before?
Yes. Then he came down on the Sunday, we come out on the Monday. That was it.
And when did he have to get back by?
By about Tuesday or Wednesday, I think. We went straight back. Got knocked on Monday, went back on Tuesday. And we went into furnished rooms, which was horrible.
Did the club provide these, or did?
Oh no, you had to find yourself. Then Les had a brother, he's got him now. He turned professional as well. And he played for Charlton for a bit.
He never really made it to the first team.
No. He wasn't there long and he was a bit of a nuisance, he was. He was.
But in what way?
When my daughter was a misery, she was. I tell her, no, she's a misery. I had to nurse her to sleep. And I put her upstairs to bed. And she screamed. This one, this Tommy Boulter, he'd run upstairs and get her back down. I could have kicked him.
So, how long were you in the furnished rooms for?
Pardon?
How long were you in the furnished rooms? Were you there very
Well,
long?
we went to 2 lots. The last one, when I was pregnant, she said there was no babies. So to go home to have my daughter, back to South Wales.
Wrong.
What's wrong? And of course she's born at home. He said there was no taking in hospital then. She born home with my mother and my sister. But she was the spitting image of my husband. The spit of her. She was honest. I'll tell you what now, there's a photo of it. Can you get, there's an album in there, in that cupboard there.
This grandma?
Yeah. And I had one taken of June, that age, and it's the spit of him.
How about now? Is she still
Let me show you where she is. This is her. She's all here, look. That's my granddaughter, that is. Just leaves. This is my son, this is.
That's your son.
He's
Bank
like me.
manager.
Like me.
Yeah.
Mind she put on weight there. She got rheumatoid arthritis now.
Is she?
There she is.
You can see the family like this.
Can you?
Yeah.
It's my daughter when she got married, this is. When she was only 21, then she's
So as young as
53
well.
now. That's where son.
He looks a bit older in that photo than me. The most of the photos
He
I've
was a
seen.
misery, he was.
Was he?
Mm.
Continue with this. So you were in digs, you were furnished, and you had to go back to
and
Wales.
then we went to the other lot when I became pregnant, and I had to go home.
Did Les go back when you had the baby, or did he have to stay out?
No, he came in up after I had her. Just for a weekend, mine is all.
Mm.
And then when she was about 6 weeks old, I think, I went back up with my sister in the train, and she was like a little doll, you know. And all the operatic society were on this train, because my sister belonged to that, you see. So I was feeding her, you see. One of the men came down the corridor, and he squeezed her head. He thought it was a doll. She started to scream on his face. So where did we go back when she was a baby? Oh, we had some more furnished rooms then. Somebody that only had a little boy. So she let us go there for a bit, you know, until we got a place. Then we got the house that belonged to the
Clubhouse. Where was the clubhouse?
in Blackheath. Begbie Road
Begbie
it was.
Road.
Don't remember it?
Well, I know Begbie Road.
Do you?
Yes, I know Blackheath
I started to
very
say 30 feet Begbie Road, or 35 or something it was. FET, she used to say. SE3, is it?
SE3,
That's right,
that's
that's
right.
right.
In fact, Alec Hurd's daughter, he had a daughter and son, didn't
Well, he could have a daughter, I don't know about the son.
he? Yeah, a son. And I think his daughter still lives in Begbie Road. No, that's right, his daughter was living, because Alec, what number did Alec Hurd live at?
I don't know, it is up above us, we run a corner.
Well, anyway, when he died, his daughter was still living next door to him.
Yes?
His daughter is still living in that house next door to
Is
where
she
Alec was
really?
living. Yeah.
Have they changed those houses much, I wonder?
I don't think so.
Haven't
I
they?
don't think so. Still more or less the same.
Oh, I'd love to see it. You know.
So what was the house like inside? How many rooms did you have?
We had 2 rooms downstairs and a kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and 3 bedrooms. So,
So it's like a palace compared to the furnished rooms you
well,
had.
of course it was. Of course it was.
And you were paying the club rent every week,
Well,
weren't
I forget that. You know, I don't know whether we paid rent or not. I don't remember.
you?
Must have paid something, I should think, don't you?
I should think so. I don't know. I mean, it depends on the club.
I don't know. I forget. Don't quote me. I don't know. I don't know. Have any of the other players told you anything like this?
No, this is interesting because I'm getting the other side.
Oh,
And
yes.
the players tend to talk about money an awful lot.
Do they?
A lot of the
The
players in the
wages.
30s and 40s about how the club was making all these thousands of pounds, and they were getting a paltry
£6.
£6.
£8 if we won.
And how Jimmy Seed was so tight.
He was.
He was a miserable bugger. So.
Well, I think my husband and him had a best up. You know, that's why he went to Brentford.
Really?
Mm.
What did you think about Jimmy Seed? Did you meet him?
I didn't meet him.
You never met
Didn't
him?
want to the way Les to talk about him.
What would Les say about him? How would he talk about him?
Well, tight, you know.
Mm.
I know they'd have been my best up about it.
Yeah. You wouldn't have been the only one.
No, I don't think so. Never met him. I don't think so. I can't remember.
Mm.
I may have done. I don't know.
Mm. Well, Albert Brown, when he finally left in 1946,
46?
46 Albert Brown left, and that was because Jimmy C wouldn't let him go. He just wouldn't let him go, and in the end, he managed to arrange it so he went to Nottingham Forest and Aston Villa. But Jimmy Seed was being, even though he's given these other clubs permission to approach him, then he wasn't letting him go. And the last thing, Harold Hobbs says the last thing he had to do with Albert Brown at Charlton was he had to hold him back. So Sailor Brown had chucked his boot at Jimmy Seed and was going for him. And Harold Hobbs had to hold him back. And Don Welsh says the same. Don Welsh says he was done out of his accrued share of benefit when he left.
There's
in
a
19
benefit.
Did he?
£500.
Wasn't bad.
£500.
When was his benefit?
Not long before he left.
He left, what, 37, 38? He joined Brentford before the war.
That's right, yes.
Charlton had already got to the first division,
That's right.
and he played some time in the first division.
That's right. Forget what he did. Doesn't he say in that paper when he went to Brentford?
It doesn't say exactly, I don't think. It says, I said he remembered the club until 36, 37. But that would have been their first year in the first division.
We'll see. About 37 then, I suppose.
1937.
He must have had a bust up with Jimmy Seed about going, you see. He wanted to go.
Why did he want to go?
Well, differences with Jimmy Seed, I suppose. Les didn't talk a lot. He was very quiet, you see. He didn't talk a lot about it.
Yeah.
Didn't.
Did he just come into you one day and say, well,
That's right. We're off. We're off. So I said, right, I want a house anyway, wherever we're going. It's a nice house too in Brentford.
Did you buy one or was it a love house?
No, they took us round in cars, you see, looking at these houses. We looked at one, don't like that. Went to another one. I like that one. Yeah.
So you had it.
My daughter was about 3. Wait a minute, I can tell her the age. She was born in 1935. So June was about 3. 1938, look, see? When we went to Brentford. Then of course the war came, didn't it? So they said, Brentford said that after the war we could come back to it. Did we heck? Came back, whoever had been, they'd built a shelter in the lounge, everything, couldn't have it. So we stuck in a flat then, in, where was it, Boulter, near Woolwich somewhere. No, it wasn't Woolwich.
No, it would have been Brentford.
No, it's a horrible 3-storey. Just Brentford's an awful place. Basement, ground floor, another floor. Then after a while, Brentford sold that house to a young couple. And they tried from the time we went there to get me out. They wanted to get somebody else in with more money, you see. They refused to take the rent of me about £3 a week, I think, to the flat. They wouldn't take it. So I had a friend who was a counsellor. He said, look, Betty, put the rent money on the stairs and just leave it. They don't take it as their fault. So we skedaddled one night packed everything up and went back to South Wales. Good luck to them.
Good luck to them. Leave them to it. They're just doing it. Quite right too. Did Les have any particular friends amongst the players?
Boozing pals.
If you like.
Let me think now who they were. My memory's gone, I can't remember, you know.
Well, what would have been a sort of a normal routine for the two of you during the actual season? Would you have been training most days?
Training most mornings, yes. Come home about 12. We go about 9 or 10 or something. Then train until about 12. Then afternoons mostly off. Then probably in the night down the pub. But smoke, dreadful.
Yeah.
Terrible.
You said his nickname was Old Smokey.
Smokey used to call him.
And everyone used to call him that.
He did. Yeah.
So he was a heavy smoker.
Well, he died from it, didn't he? Must have affected his heart, you see. So.
Yeah.
And he gave it up about a month before he died. It was no good, was it?
Too late.
And my daughter smoked like a trooper.
Well, I smoke.
Do you?
But not too much. I drank about 10 a day.
So I said to my daughter, doesn't it worry you about your father? You've got to die of something. She said, oh my God. What an attitude.
No, that's right. That's right.
Well, I smoked. Because my husband was smoking, I thought, well, I'll smoke. Obviously, I'm about one now and again, you know. Then I went up to about 10. Because my heart started to be bad, you see. So the specialist said to me, Mrs. Boulter, give this up, he said. So I packed it in. Mine was difficult, very. It was, honest. I didn't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah.
When I had a cup of tea, I didn't want the tea because I couldn't have a smoke. And then I'd back and forth to the kitchen and the sweet. Oh, dear God, it was hard, mine. It was difficult. I didn't have any withdrawals or nothing. Well, it wasn't heavy.
It's just a
It was.
nervous thing.
It was.
Yeah. I can imagine the feeling, actually.
But a few times my daughter reckons she's tried to cut it down. I said, June, you can't cut it down, you've got to stop. Because the nicotine's in your body, isn't it?
That's right.
Oh, and he smokes as well. It must be costing them a fortune.
It is expensive.
It is.
It's very expensive.
It is. Dreadful.
Anyway, so he said he used to go down to the pub.
I didn't go.
You didn't go?
No, I never went.
He'd always go on his own with
Yeah.
some of his players.
Wherever, I don't know. I never went there. Don't know.
Would you have liked to have gone?
No.
To leave him to it?
But he used to be very, very nasty when he was drunk. Don't record it.
Okay. Good. I mean, obviously, if there's things that you don't want recorded,
That's right.
I'll always switch it off anyway. But this is something, because when I started working on this, the first people I met obviously were supporters,
Yes.
the old supporters.
Yes.
And they all, they would say, oh, Jimmy Seed, what a wonderful manager,
Oh,
what a
right.
wonderful man, 25 years or something with Charlton, and look what he gave them.
Yeah.
First player I went
Two sides, you see.
Yeah, immediately you got the scales going like this.
I know, yeah. So, Glickstein's son or grandson's there now?
No, he's finished with them now as well, Michael Glickstein.
Are they?
He was one of the reasons they had to leave the valley. Because the old car park,
Yes.
behind the grandstand, he withdrew the lease. He left the board of directors and was replaced on the board
The
of
son
directors.
now?
Yes, the son, Michael Glickstein.
Mm.
Charlton had a lot of financial problems in 84 and 85. They were almost wound up at one point. And Michael Glickstein, I don't think he was getting his rent on the lease or whatever, but anyway, he withdrew the lease on the car park and submitted a planning application to build a hotel to Greenwich Council. At the same time, the GLC council said that the East Terrace was unsafe, so that had to be closed. And so what Charlton were left with was the grandstand and the two ends, with only about 4 turnstiles, and they couldn't segregate the supporters coming in. They couldn't use the land which Michael Glickstein had used, which was the Valley Grove entrance. They couldn't use any of that, so they had to move. And,
To Crystal Palace.
To Crystal Palace, and Michael Glickstein now, his name is
Mud.
Mud. I mean, considering, well, again, on paper, what his father and uncle did, Albert and Stanley,
Of
what they
course.
did for the club,
Mm.
they saved it in the early days, so it's taken for granted. But they as well, I mean, Jimmy Seed and the Glicksteins, I mean, they were all very tight.
Yeah.
There was no investment in the ground, in the actual stadium to
Oh,
improve
they had
facilities.
the would have been tight, you know, all of them.
Mm?
They had it was a known thing that they were tight.
Mm.
It was.
Yeah, and I think that this is coming through. Comes through all the time whenever I speak to people. You know, and you hear about an example during the war. Players were free to guest, as you probably know,
Yes.
were guests for other clubs.
Mm.
Tommy Lawson was one of the stars of the day, and George Green was based locally. He was in the services, and he was based locally, and he was helping Jimmy Seed to get players together to play
Was he?
matches on Saturday.
Mm.
And he said that he managed to get Tommy Lawton. Tommy Lawton was in London, near to London.
Yes.
He was a PTI as
Yeah.
well. And managed to get him to come down and play for Charlton on Saturday.
Mm.
And so they played the match, and after the match, they paid the players. And I think Tommy Lawton was paid £10 for playing this game. And after the match, Jimmy Seed asked Tommy Lawton into the office to ask him if he would play again the following week.
Mm.
And Tommy Lawton
So
said,
no.
"No, sorry boss, I'm being posted."
Mm.
When he came out, he says, "Jimmy, don't you play any day again?" He said, "I got a 5 for playing for Chelsea last week."
Did he?
And he got £10 for playing for Charlton. Jimmy Seed. So I mean, in all these, I mean, that's the thing I think which has really come home to me is I don't know whether it's because footballers today earn so much money, but how in those days, in the 30s and the 40s and the 50s, and the maximum wage, there was so much dissent amongst the players as to these huge crowds coming in, clubs,
Well, I know
directors
the money
making
they
all the
make.
money,
Mm.
and it wasn't coming back to the
No,
players.
no.
And it wasn't being, you couldn't see it, and the ground wasn't being
No,
improved.
nothing.
Facilities weren't being improved. They were just left with the same old tatty training gear
Of course.
and all the rest of it. So,
I used to have to wash Les's socks myself and his jersey.
did you?
Mm.
What, his match day jersey?
Yes. And his socks.
You'd think they would have got that done.
You'd have thought so, yeah. They didn't though. Dreadful. Mm.
So did you used to go out to any sort of social events? So did you meet many of the other
No, I
players?
never met anybody.
Didn't you?
Don't know whether they had any social events or not. I never went anyway.
Mm. So you didn't get to meet any other wives or
no,
girlfriends ever at all?
No. The only one I ever saw was Harry Fox's wife,
Mm.
and I didn't, not socially,
Because you lived very close.
best.
Yeah.
It wasn't the same street, I don't think, but not far, you know, it wasn't far.
Yeah.
Nice looking woman she was, pretty, well, young there, not a woman, she was a, young woman, yes.
Mm.
Nice looking. Mm.
How about when you went away on tour? 'Cause
Pardon?
How about when you went away on tour? Because you went to Canada and
He went
America.
to Canada. Mm.
What did he tell you about that?
He went to Paris too, the weekend, they did. And this was supposed to be a big secret. One night, you know, in bed. This is a secret now, nobody else knows. We went to this brothel, all women naked, and some of the footballers had gone off with some, they were suspended.
Really?
Mm. Mm. But of course Les didn't go.
No, of course he didn't. That's when they went over when they played the French national
That's
team.
right, that's right.
And they won, didn't they? That's
That's right, that's it. Mm.
So he told you this?
He told me that, a secret, you
And
see.
how did you react to that?
Well, not very good.
No, I should think you did.
But of course he hadn't done anything, he hadn't been with anybody, had he?
Yeah.
So he said. But all the others said, well, he couldn't have been because he wasn't suspended.
Mm.
So he hadn't been. Oh dear.
And what about the American tour? Because they must have been away 3 weeks, was it, the American tour?
6
Maybe?
weeks that was.
6 weeks, was it?
Mm.
How did you feel about him going on for that length of time?
I was at home, you see.
You had a young,
I went
young
home.
daughter as well.
What year was that now?
37, was it?
And my daughter was only about 3, you see.
Yeah.
And my sister idolised her. She only had 2 boys, you see. So she idolised her. Of course I didn't. So Les said, when we come back, we'll go on a holiday, he said, to Torquay. So of course Betty booked, didn't they? Of course when Les came back he didn't want to go, did he? So you didn't go, did I?
So you didn't get your holiday?
No, no. So I had to wait to go to Torquay until 1971. Yeah. Then we went.
Yeah, 35 years later.
That's right. And when he was in the airport, he used to work behind the bar in the officers' mess, you know. And dragged me up there, sit at the back there, so I went to something because I was fed up or something. So they were all dancing, I say, right, Les, can I go and have this last dance? No. So wouldn't let me go.
Wouldn't let you
No.
dance? It's pretty rough, isn't it, really?
Possessive,
Yeah,
dreadful.
yeah. Did the two of you ever go out dancing?
No, he wouldn't like. Men only want to dance with a woman to hold them close. He's a bad-minded man. He was bad-minded. I don't think he could have had many girlfriends, you know. He couldn't have done.
He didn't tell you?
He didn't tell me. I think there was one once called Mary,
Yeah.
and that's all.
That's when she was back in the house.
No, she's in London, she was. But I remember when I went up for this weekend, he'd just come home from a party or something. He'd been drunk all the weekend or something. Oh, dear God. Forget who told me now. Somebody told me. He'd only just come back from being, oh, dear God. He was 19 he was. I think he used to go around a lot to these pubs, you know. And of course all the owners of the hotels and pubs thought they were marvellous, didn't they?
We just would walk in and say,
Of
"Let's
course.
Charlton play."
That's right. Free drinks, I suppose.
Make the best of it.
We used to like to drink, mine.
So what about, you say you went to about 3 matches. Is that all you went? You
That's
really
about
went to?
all it was.
What did you, did you enjoy them?
Well, no, I didn't. I don't understand football. I don't, honestly.
You never explained it to you?
No. No. My daughter does. No. Wasn't fussy if I went or not. No.
So if you went, were you sitting in the grandstand?
Yes.
And were you with any of the other club officials, or did you just give
Well, I suppose at the back of it, I don't know. Didn't sit next to them though. Took my daughter when she was little. When there's all his shorts torn off him. He did, and all the players around him.
In a circle.
That's right. Daddy fall down, she said. Yeah.
Did you, when you actually saw a match of football and saw how aggressive it was and how physical it was?
Oh, it was. But he was very clever. He was with his feet, very. Although I didn't understand it, I knew that much.
He get himself out of trouble.
Remind me a bit of George Best, you know.
Yeah.
It's footwork, you know.
Very fancy.
I've seen it, yeah.
So juggle around.
That's right.
I was working on the interview I did with Don Welsh just recently, and he said, Les Boulter hated the sight of me because I did him out of, he said Don Welsh did him out of his inside left position where he was playing.
Oh, yeah?
Because when Don Welsh played all over the place.
Yes, I believe he did.
And I think that inside left position was Les's favourite position.
That's right, of course. That's all he played, I think.
And so, Don Welsh was coming in and taking that position and pushing Les Boulter into other places on the field.
Did you speak to Don Welsh?
Oh yes, yes, I went up and met him, spent a couple of hours with him.
Did you?
Yeah, very cynical to speak up as well.
Pardon?
Very cynical about football generally.
Oh, yeah?
Harold Hobbs as well, extremely cynical.
Yeah.
And I think the impression I get is that Harold Hobbs always was cynical. But Harold was, I think, again, it's back to the money thing. Harold, laughed the most when it came to getting one over on Jimmy C. Getting an extra couple of bob here or there.
Well, of course, a couple of bob was a lot of money then, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
I think I have to give this a £1 pocket money, I think.
Did you? But he give you his wages, would he?
Oh, yes, give me the wages, yes, fair play. So I give him a £1 back.
So how did you cope on the players' wages? Did you find those?
Oh, I did. That's marvellous,
enough.
marvellous.
Because it was what, £6 a week?
Oh, £6, 8 if they won.
And a couple of
That's right.
pound bonus.
That's right.
So that's really, it was the average wage at that
It was.
time. Must have been-
Everybody had the same, I think. Of course, I thought it was in God's pocket then, you know. Well, only being 17 when I got married and not having much money, I thought it was marvellous, didn't I?
Yeah, you must have.
Mm.
Suddenly sort of working at Woolworths. So going out with a professional footballer.
That's right.
Especially with, I suppose, what, arguably one of the most successful teams in the
Well, it
as
was.
well.
It was.
It was a rising star.
Yeah.
What about when he played for Wales? Did you go and see him play for Wales?
No, I don't know. Where did he play? Must have been at Cardiff.
I should think so. I don't know.
I didn't go anyway.
You didn't go?
No.
Was he excited when he got selected?
Don't ask me, it's a long time ago, love. I've forgotten. Brain goes, you know.
How about when you left Charlton? Did the players or the club together and give a whip round or
No, nothing.
give a leaving card?
They said, don't think so.
Nothing.
No.
It seems to have kept you very distant.
Away
it.
from it, yes.
Yeah. Did he have two different lives? Did he have his football life and his private
That's
life?
right. It was the same when we had a business in Pwllheli. When he was in the shop, he was all affable, smiling, but when he was in the kitchen, he was a different matter. Two different persons.
Yeah. So, what was your impression of sort of footballers' lifestyle? Do you think they deserve the money they got paid?
Oh yes.
Yeah. They worked hard for
Yeah,
it.
of course he did.
It's not bad though if you say he used to finish by about lunchtime every day.
Oh, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't. Very nice. Then on a weekend, I think they go about a Thursday, come back on a Sunday or Monday, train again.
What about the away matches?
Plus, I mean, the away ones.
So you'd be away for one, maybe 2 nights
That's right.
when they were travelling away to these
Yes.
matches. Did he ever tell you much about the things that went on?
No, no.
Did he tell you whether they won or lost?
No. Oh yes, I knew that. Anyway, I had known on the paper or something.
Yeah.
Don't think there was a telly then.
Mm.
Don't think so.
I would have thought so on those.
No.
Not in those days.
No,
anyway,
no,
would
there
they?
wasn't. Oh, I knew what had happened. I think they went with an extra £2.
That's the way you looked.
That's right, yes. I did. Money.
Well, I suppose that's the important thing, especially in those days, in the 30s, where there was so much hardship.
Well, of course, because at that time, my sister and her husband had got married and they were living on 30 shillings a week. 30 shillings. And Les was having about 8 to see. Marvellous.
Yeah, he was spending that much a week in the pub, was he?
Of course.
Which pubs did he used to go to?
Well, the one in Blackheath, don't ask me the name, I don't know. It was on a corner, I know, that's all I know, it was on a corner.
What, in the village or in the...
Oh no, it wasn't on the heath.
Wasn't?
No.
So it was in the village.
This is 50 years ago, love.
Yeah, I know. And did he used to take you out during the week? If he wasn't?
Very, very rare. Plus we got the pictures if we could get a babysitter.
Yeah.
That's I couldn't go on my own. Where have you been?
Keeping tabs on you.
Well, I went to the woman, it must have gone with Mrs. Wilkinson once. And we had to catch the bus or something. So when we came back, we had to wait for the bus. So I suppose it was about half an hour later to what it was supposed to be. So Les was in bed. Where have they been? Dear God. Round the back with a black man. Oh dear.
You mentioned Alec Hurd's daughter,
Yes,
who used
right.
to babysit.
Mm.
Um,
Didn't they? Well, she used to play with June a lot.
Right.
Because June was about 3 then, and she was about 12 or something.
12, yeah.
Forget her name now. Forget.
So
They still live there. She does.
I believe so, some every road,
believe
yeah. I believe so.
Mrs. Hurd is dead to us. She.
I think so.
Mm.
I think so, yeah.
Because
I think
they were
Alec-
older than us, you know.
Well, Alec Hurd was 85,
Was he?
Because he was playing for Charlton in the early 20s.
Did he?
Yeah,
I believe he did. That's right.
when he joined
Mm.
Charlton. Sort of,
Can-
connected with them, so it was off and on all the way.
Yes.
All the way through. But,
Then that doctor that was the club doctor,
Mhm.
I used to have him talk to my daughter and
Oh,
everything
Dr.
as well.
Montgomery?
That's right.
what was he like?
Very nice chap. Very nice. Yeah.
So he's your family doctor as well?
That's right.
so-
Yes.
I've heard that he was a nice man.
Oh, yes?
Actually. I've heard this from There's a woman I know who used to be a child supporter. In the days of big matches, everyone would be walking up to the ground in trams or on their bicycles or whatever. And so her and her girlfriend were walking out towards the ground one day, and a car just stopped. Go on, lift girls, go to the match. Pop in. Got in, Dr. Montgomery.
That's right.
And he's stopping, he's picking out supporters.
He was very nice. He was.
Yeah, he sounds like a nice.
Yes, he was. He's dead, I suppose.
I believe so. Well, I should think so.
Well, yes, of course, he was older, but much older than
Must be in
this.
his 40s or 50s.
But in his 40s then he was, and
Yeah.
this was in his 20s.
There was a big age difference.
Yeah.
So Alec Hurd, how did you get on with him?
Oh, he's nice. I liked Alec.
He's a
Nice
Scotsman,
chap.
wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
Was he very broad Scottish?
There he was, and she was. She was Scotch as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you socialise much with him?
Not a lot, no, no, no. You know, we didn't go to one another's houses and things like that, you know, like they do now. You don't think we didn't?
Didn't do
No. The only, as I said, the only one we went to was this George Harris.
that.
That was a disaster.
But did you have any friends in that area?
I
So it must
suppose
have
I
been
did.
must have been very hard for you coming up from the
It
valleys
was,
up
and I'm
to-
so young, you see.
not knowing anyone.
I know, I didn't. No.
And newly married, so you just said you were 19.
19. 17 and a half when I got married. Stupid.
Just a teenager.
Ridiculous.
It's 10 years younger than I am now. I'm 27. I'm not married.
You don't want to.
Not yet.
My son was 25 when he got married.
Yeah.
The bank wouldn't let him get married until he was in the bank when he was 17, you see.
I see.
He's 48 now.
I'm in no rush.
No, no, don't, love. Plenty of time.
Oh yes, well, I hope so.
Take your time. Make sure. This is how you go wrong, you see.
But I mean, I think it's a trend though today, isn't it? People do tend to marry a bit later on.
I think it's better.
I think it's sensible because when you're young, you want to go out and enjoy yourself.
Well, of course you do.
You want to experience these different things.
I thought I
If
was
you
going to
get
enjoy
married-
myself. I did up in London. I never did, though.
Did he take you around to see the sights? Did he show you around? London?
I went with my friend a few times, Mrs. Wilkinson. Don't know where that photograph's gone. There was a photograph of Mrs. Wilson and mine with my daughter in between us, going up Oxford Street.
Mrs. Monty's wife.
Tall woman.
How
she was.
did you meet her?
She lived next door to us, you see.
Right.
Very nice she was. Used to make a lot of my daughter, she did. She didn't have any children, see.
Yeah.
I was very friendly with her. What's her name? I forget her name now.
So I saw my sister's got a photograph of her actually. Taken.
Gosh, I wish I had that blinking photograph. I had it for blinking years.
Well, my sister's got a photograph of her
It's
taken.
in here, is it?
Taken just about a week or so before.
Oh, I would.
You would.
Mm.
Well, I was seeing. Well, I'm not going back to London for another 5 weeks, but when I get back, I'll sort out
See,
a
I've
copy
got
for you.
it, yeah. I don't, so I haven't seen it for age.
Yeah. Did you enjoy being a footballer's wife?
Oh, I did. I did.
You did?
I did.
What are the
I
things-
liked the glamour, you know.
Mhm.
Although I didn't go anywhere, I liked being a footballer's wife.
Mhm. Did you like seeing the name mentioned in the
Oh,
papers
yes, of
and-
course, and how he played and everything. Yes,
Mhm.
I did.
So you'd always read all the reports.
Yes, look, I did.
I know. So one last question.
Yeah.
I know that when Charlton finally got promotion to the First Division, the directors bought Jimmy Seed a house.
Oh, did they?
Yes, they
I
did.
didn't know that.
I wondered whether they gave anything to the players.
Not,
Apart from the
not to
medal.
my knowledge. I don't know mine. I can't be sure.
Mm.
I can't.
Mm.
May have done.
The medal, did that come from the club or was that from the Football League?
Football League, I think.
It's the Football League.
Mm.
So even then the club didn't
No,
give anything.
no.
Anyway.
You had a house?
Hmm?
You had a house?
Jimmy Seed got a house out of it.
The old
I'll tell you something else about
fellas.
Mhm.
They weren't allowed to have a car.
They weren't allowed to have
No,
a car.
no.
Why was that?
Well, in case they had an accident or something, see?
Yeah.
They couldn't have a car. So how did I get down to the ground? Unless I walked.
Mm.
I don't forget.
Just from Blackheath, it would have been like 2-3 mile walk from
Couldn't have walked down. Perhaps somebody gave me a lift or something. I don't know. Forget.
there. Yeah.
I know they couldn't have a car.
Did anyone call for him in the morning on the way down?
Oh, maybe. I forget. I forget. I do.
Mm.
Unless he walked down.
Yeah.
Could
I
you
think
then?
I think it's
Part of
quite,
his training.
it's quite possible that they would have walked down.
Yes.
Because I think Harold Hobbs said he used to walk.
I think they did, you see.
Until, and then Harold Hobbs had a bicycle at one point. And he used to give Albert Brown lifts down
Oh,
Church,
did
down
he?
Church Lane on his bicycle.
Oh, did he?
And the handlebars of the
I
bike.
remember walking down Church Lane. So I must have walked.
Mm.
You
There
did?
you go, they must have walked down there
Mm.
every morning. walk
Did
out.
nothing when you were young, was it?
Yeah. Did he play golf, Liz?
Oh, yes.
So you got playing golf with the other players?
Yes.
It must have come as a bit of a